A 12-year-old kid living in the ghetto came to a Latin American girl who treated him to milk and cookies. He's here to pick up goods packaged in small packets. The lady almost tricked the kid, stealing one packet. Nothing surprising, the woman herself is involved in banned substances. Michael, nicknamed Daring, moves from one point to another. We learn that the boys entrusted him with this job because the criminal authority Esteban is interested in his sister. Chili promises to kill him if he doesn't count the packets. Because of his side job, Michael often gets late for school. In another place near the lockers, one packet fell and the guy quietly picked it up. Daring has a best friend, Chucky. He is not very agile. He doesn't play basketball well, and he just lost $6 in cards. Michael constantly gazes at a girl named Rosie. Finally, he gathered courage and approached her. According to him, this girl is constantly staring at him, not the other way around. Rosie teases the guy and says she likes his chubby white friend. Also, her mom is white, and they live in a luxurious house. But Michael will never get rich, and he won't earn a Porsche. But the situation is a bit different. In a secluded place near the railroad in a rusty can, he hid a thick stack of bucks and added one more bill. Daring dreams of moving from the ghetto to the wealthy part of the city. But for now, he has to live with his aunt and share an apartment with 11 brothers and sisters. The older sister Nicole does not want to live in such conditions and left home. At night, another sister asks the young delinquent not to upset the aunt who took them all in. They can't go home, and they don't want to go to shelters. Several guys control the point of sale. They gave a signal to Daring, and he sold his first packet to some guy for him to assess the local goods. After that, a pregnant woman approached, and the guy refused to sell to her. Another girl is so persistent that she's ready to do anything for a hit. She offers herself to Daring for $10, but he gave her a piece of his mind and sent her away. This amused the guy who was watching the kids, Jake. In the evening, Daring went to the boss and complained about Jake, who left him without pay. Corky handed the schoolboy $50, but he lashed out at the gangster. He cursed all day, not for a picnic. They owe him $100. The gangsters realized that this guy could rise high. In the park, a man defeats one player after another in speed chess. He plays for money, so when Michael sat down at the table, the chess player asked him to leave. But the schoolboy pulled out $20, and the challenge was accepted. Pretty soon, Daring declared that he would checkmate in 4 moves. But according to him, the guy is a bad player, so he received checkmate in just 2 moves. Sam, Michael's father, who taught him chess, watched the game. Starting the game, he received a son. Michael has to adapt to the opponent's game if he likes to attack, making him defend, and vice versa. He also tells the guy that sometimes it's better to act as a team rather than alone. After finishing a bottle of beer, he puts the guy in checkmate. Despite the adult criminal activities that Daring is involved in, he enjoys spending time with his peers. Chucky has a dog that he plans to enter into dogfights, which Michael doesn't approve of, treating the dog much better than its owner. But the chubby one is determined to earn money with the dog and buy himself new sneakers and a gold chain. Daring came home to the boss, Esteban. He doesn't really like that the schoolboy sometimes has a side job. His product is much more dangerous than Esteban's, just like his clients who are hooked on him, and the police aren't pressing him too hard. With him, the guy can peacefully conduct business, at least until he's 50. The main thing is not to try any of it yourself. From business, Esteban moved on to vulgar praise of Michael's sister. And this is despite the fact that he is married and is rocking his daughter right now. The boss asks if Nicole has a boyfriend. Daring convinces him that his aunt doesn't allow her to date anyone. But in reality, Nicole is currently living with her boyfriend James, also a dealer. And he doesn't like that Michael is competing with him in his territory. The boy told the dazed Nicole about Esteban. She dates James because he has a lot of product. She doesn't want to be with Esteban because he looks at her like a queen. She just considers herself damaged goods. James, on the other hand, doesn't treat her that way. That's why she's with him. On the basketball court, Michael gazed at Rosie while she decided to approach him. At the same time, a team of thugs was playing against a very talented guy on a slightly distant court. He was harshly stopped by Jake and thrown to the asphalt, but the guy didn't get offended and continued to play. Later, he again played one-on-one against Jake and threw the ball into the basket. The thug pulled out a gun and simply shot the talented athlete. The jerk demands that those who ran away tell everyone what he just did. Only the shocked Michael remained on the short. The thing is, one bullet hit Rosie's neck, and she died right in front of him. Daring tells the police that he didn't see anything, only heard the shots. Now it's hard for the boy to focus on chess. His father noticed that Michael seems to feel the pain of losing each piece, but he must understand that this is just a means to get to his king. Maybe you feel like the pieces are your friends, but you must be ready to sacrifice a friend at any moment. It's also important to throw the opponent off balance. Having achieved this, you can confidently attack. Michael has never been able to beat his father. Sam invited his son over. The trailer is filled with chessboards and beer bottles. The wall is covered with photos of famous grandmasters. Sam played with all of them, but he almost never won. But if they played in the parks for stakes, if life pressed them, and they risked money, he is sure that they would break, and he would beat them all. A man reminisces about Nicole. In childhood, whenever she appeared, it seemed like an angel descended from heaven. She was so beautiful and sweet. Chucky brought his pet to a dog fight. Rasco doesn't look like a fighting dog at all. Then the killer Jake appeared. Daring and Jake locked eyes. The collars were cut, and the dogs attacked each other. Strangely, the seemingly harmless dog killed a more menacing one. Satisfied, Chucky got the money, and Michael asked him not to bring the dog here anymore. Instead, they'll make some real big money. At home, Daring set up the chessboard and demanded that his brothers and sisters not touch it. He starts a special game. Daring came with a friend to Esteban and saw his drugged naked sister lying on his bed. The boss thanks the guy for directing her to him. Esteban kicked Chucky out of the room. He wants Daring to act alone. He is sure the boy will rise soon. Daring came to the supplier Hector and asked to sell him a large batch. Supposedly, Corky sent him instead of Jake, who is currently hiding from the police. Daring took out all the money that was set aside from the bank. In an hour, they will deliver a large batch to him. Chucky is everywhere, claiming he will now become a cool and rich guy. He will control the area and sell goods by the kilogram. Another friend asks Michael why he deals with Chucky. He's so stupid and clueless. Friends went to the bookstore and took 2 textbooks each that were set aside for them. In the subway, Chucky misbehaves and attracts the attention of a policeman. Daring had to resolve the situation. He's annoyed that the chubby one constantly dives into trouble. They are already being watched. They approach the stash in an abandoned building. Here, Chucky pulled out 2 guns. Shocked, Michael grabbed one of them and threw it away. Chucky refused to give up the second one. Esteban's goods were hidden under the boards. Daring replaced it with garbage that Hector passed to him in a textbook. The chubby one still refuses to throw away the second gun. He thinks that Michael doesn't treat him with respect, so he will run the business himself. Suddenly, a car stopped in front of the guys, and instead of running away, Chucky started shooting at the gangsters. Afterward, he fell and dropped the gun, which flew under the car's wheel. The wheel was punctured and it crushed the guy's hand. Michael returned, but couldn't help his friend, so he had to leave him and run away himself. The small gangster was not spared and was shot. The schoolboy found himself back at the police station, and he lies again, claiming he doesn't know who killed Chucky. The detective left his business card in case the boy decides to talk. Aunt tells Michael that she can't risk the lives of him and 11 other children because of him, so he will go to the shelter as soon as there is room available. In school, Kudryavi attacked Michael, accusing him of Chucky's death. At Daring's house, a car was waiting for him. He was thrown into the car and taken to Corky. Corky believes that Esteban is encroaching on his market because he started trading the same goods. But Daring says he didn't work for Esteban. He lied, claiming Jake hired him. The killer was very surprised and was about to shoot the liar, but he himself was taken in. Daring continues his game and says that Jake constantly took money from the dealers. He and his accomplice had long been on the side, planning to become the main ones, taking Corky's business into their own hands. Jake got chained in the ribs. He insists that Daring set him up, but where did the schoolboy get $5,000? Corky beat his people to death with a chain. He asked Daring who was supposed to sell the goods on the street, and he pointed to James, his sister's boyfriend. He only appears at home after 6. That's when he should be approached. Next, the schoolboy came to Esteban and complained that Corky's people attacked him. Daring lies again, saying that Corky is considering dealing with his product and taking part of the business. Moreover, he allegedly learned about it from Sister Nicole, who drives Esteban crazy. He lied then that she wasn't dating anyone. In reality, she is with James from Jake's gang. James and Corky are planning to get rid of Esteban. According to Daring, these two constantly meet. So today, after 6, they have a meeting. Esteban quickly saw it with his own eyes. Well, war is war. The driver was stabbed. Esteban's armed squad approached the building, and Daring opened a chocolate bar to sweeten the bloody show he organized. The entire Corky gang was wiped out. James tried to escape, but Esteban caught him. Finding Nicole's room, he shot the dealer. One fighter was lost. Chili remained lying on the asphalt next to Corky. Daring noticed where Esteban put the gun. The boss ordered to throw the weapons into the water and leave the car somewhere. He went to deal with Nicole. Daring demanded to stop the car and let him out. He ran to the nearest phone and called the detective. After that, he went to Esteban. Supposedly, he has nowhere else to go now and asked to stay. Suddenly, the police rang the doorbell. When Esteban left the room, Daring threw something under the mattress. The detective entered the room and said they were called by the neighbors. Allegedly, they heard screams and even shots. Daring claimed that Esteban threatened his sister with death, and he also told them that the boss and his people had just shot Corky's gang, all because of jealousy for James. Nicole says her brother is lying, but Daring replies that his sister is just afraid of the authority and is covering for him, and he also hid the weapon under the mattress. Michael had previously swiped a gun from the gang's car. Under the mattress, there were 2 kilograms of heroin, which Daring also planted. Finally, Esteban realized that the boy had deceived him. Michael is ready to testify in court against Esteban, but only if he and Nicole are moved from the ghetto to a safe place. The game was over. In the park, Grumpy Sam scolded the boy for being an hour late. Setting up the chessboard, he looked up at his son and saw that he was relieved.